The silence of the Christmas night in Boulder, Colorado, was shattered by a scream that would echo for decades. At 5:52 in the morning on December 26, 1996, Patricia "Pa" Ramsey called 911, her voice a frantic, breathless tremor. Her daughter was gone. A ransom note had been left behind. Thus began one of the most infamous, botched, and endlessly debated murder investigations in American history. A perfect storm of wealth, tragedy, and horrifying mystery that would forever steal the innocence of a picture postcard town. Our story begins, as these tragedies often do, with a life full of luminous promise. JonBenet Patricia Ramsey was the embodiment of her parents' dreams. To the outside world, John Ramsey was the self-made tech millionaire, the successful CEO of Access Graphics. His wife, Patsy, the former Miss West Virginia, was the elegant, sociable heart of the family. They lived in a sprawling, multi-level Tudor home at 755 15th Street, a monument to their success. And at the center of their universe was their 6-year-old daughter, JonBenet. With her piercing blue eyes and boundless energy, she was a miniature star, captivating audiences in the surreal world of child beauty pageants. Videos show a transformed child, a tiny woman in sequins and lipstick, tap dancing and smiling with a practiced charm that was both captivating and, in hindsight, deeply unsettling. She was a little girl playing dress-up in a very adult world. That world came crashing down the day after Christmas. The 911 call brought police to the Ramsey home, where they found a scene already compromised. Friends and neighbors had arrived, contaminating potential evidence. The note, found by Patsy on a spiral staircase, was bizarrely long, 2.5 handwritten pages, demanding a ransom of $118,000, a curiously specific sum that matched John's recent bonus. It was theatrical, menacing, and filled with phrases from Hollywood thrillers. "Listen carefully," it began. "We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business but not the country that it serves." It warned that if John so much as looked at a stray dog, his daughter would be beheaded. The instruction was clear. Wait for a call between 8 and 10 a.m. The call never came. The Boulder Police Department, more accustomed to college-town misdemeanors than a kidnapping of this magnitude, initially treated it as a hostage situation. Hours ticked by in a torturous wait. Then, that afternoon, the focus shifted. Detective Sergeant Larry Mason asked John Ramsey and his friend Fleet White to do a more thorough, top-to-bottom search of the massive house. It was John, descending into the windowless basement, who pushed open the door to a rarely used room. What he saw in the dim light would haunt him forever. There, on the cold concrete floor, lay JonBenet's small body, wrapped in a white blanket. A length of nylon cord was dug deep into her neck, attached to a broken paintbrush handle. A crude garrote. Her wrists were bound above her head. A piece of black duct tape was sealed over her mouth. John Ramsey's anguished cry tore through the house. He carried his daughter's body upstairs and laid her on the living room rug, destroying the final sacred crime scene in a moment of raw, paternal grief. The ransom note had been a cruel charade. JonBenet had never left the house. The autopsy revealed a brutal and confusing sequence of violence. The cause of death was asphyxiation due to strangulation associated with the garrote. But there was more. A significant skull fracture, likely from a blow with a heavy object. The official finding was that the head blow came first, and the strangulation followed, perhaps as part of a staged scene. The case immediately fractured into warring camps, a divide that persists to this day. The first and most persistent theory pointed inwards, towards the family. The bizarrely long ransom note, written on a notepad from inside the house with a pen found in a cup nearby, seemed less like the work of a small foreign faction and more like a desperate performance. The amount matched John's bonus. The language felt staged. The body was found in the home after the supposed kidnappers had ample time to remove it. The evidence, though circumstantial, was compelling to many. Suspicion fell heavily on Patsy Ramsey. Handwriting experts could not eliminate her as the author of the note, though they never conclusively confirmed it. Whispers of an accident spiraling into a cover-up took root. Perhaps Burke, JonBenet's 9-year-old brother, had struck her in a fit of sibling rage, and the parents, to protect their only remaining child, had staged the horrific kidnapping gone wrong. The grand jury apparently believed a version of this, later voting to indict both John and Patsy Ramsey on charges of child abuse resulting in death and being accessories to a crime. But the district attorney, Alex Hunter, controversially declined to sign the indictment, believing he could not prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. The other theory pointed outwards, to an intruder. John and Patsy Ramsey vehemently maintained their innocence, spending millions on their own investigators. Their team pointed to unidentified DNA found commingled with JonBenet's blood in her underwear, DNA that did not match any family member. This, they argued, was the profile of the true killer, an unknown male. Could someone have hidden in the vast house during the Christmas party? Had a pedophile, perhaps someone from the pageant circuit, become obsessed with the young girl? Was it someone with a personal grudge against John Ramsey? The intruder theory gained traction with the public over time, fueled by persistent questions about the police department's early missteps. The crime scene was not properly secured. John was allowed to find the body. Potential evidence was overlooked or mishandled. The Boulder PD was accused of being both in over its head and of being swayed by the Ramsey's wealth and status, simultaneously bungling the investigation and focusing on the parents to the exclusion of all other leads. For years, the case languished in a purgatory of suspicion and legal maneuvering, a dark cloud over everyone it touched. The Ramseys became pariahs in the court of public opinion, their every televised appearance dissected for signs of guilt or grief. Patsy Ramsey fought a long battle with ovarian cancer but never saw her name cleared, passing away in 2006. The case was reopened, DNA technology advanced, and in 2008, a new Boulder district attorney, Mary Lacey, took the extraordinary step of formally exonerating the entire Ramsey family based on the unknown male DNA profile. It was a stunning vindication for John Ramsey, but for many, it only deepened the mystery. If not the family, then who? The case's final official turning point came not with a bang, but with a frustrating whimper. In 2016, the Boulder Police Department announced a new, state-of-the-art DNA testing protocol. The world held its breath for a breakthrough, a name, a face to finally put to the crime. But the results were inconclusive. The DNA, it turned out, was complex and possibly composite, perhaps even accidentally transferred from a factory worker who handled the underwear. The evidence that had once promised exoneration now seemed to offer only more questions. The case grew cold once more, a frozen monument to the limits of forensic science and investigative procedure. The grand jury indictment against the parents remained secret for years, a final, haunting secret at the heart of the affair. Today, the Boulder Police Department still maintains an active investigation, but the clues have faded, witnesses have died, and the truth seems more elusive than ever. We are left with the image of a beautiful child, a labyrinthine house hiding a terrible secret, and a ransom note that reads like a sick joke. We are left with the echo of a scream in the early morning dark, a sound that promised answers but only delivered a mystery that can never, ever be solved. Some doors, once opened, can never truly be closed. If stories like this keep you hooked, hit subscribe for more.